How did a scrappy electronics store with hand-drawn signs and chaotic vibes become one of Australia's most powerful retail empires? JB Hi-Fi didn't just survive in a cutthroat industry, it thrived, outsmarting global competitors and dominating electronics retail with a mix of raw energy, razor-sharp pricing, and branding that's as loud as it is strategic. While competitors struggled to modernize or went under entirely, JB Hi-Fi leaned into its unique identity, expanded its footprint, and pulled off one of the most impressive retail growth stories in Australian business. Today, we're diving into how this black and yellow powerhouse disrupted the game and why no one's been able to catch up since. It all started back in 1974 in the Melbourne suburb of Kailor East. The original JB Hi-Fi was founded by John Barbuto. Yes, that's the JB, and was built on a very specific niche, selling high-end hi-fi equipment to audiophiles. It was small, tightly focused, and passionate about sound quality. But over the next few decades, JB Hi-Fi transformed itself from a specialty store into a full-spectrum electronics titan. After going public in 2003, the company hit the accelerator, aggressively expanding across Australia and later New Zealand. By the 2010s, JB Hi-Fi had become the go-to destination for everything from laptops and smartphones to TVs, video games, and kitchen appliances. But the real magic? It didn't just expand, it grew profitably year after year in an industry known for razor-thin margins. Part of JB Hi-Fi's success comes from something that, at first glance, looks like a mistake: the branding. Let's be honest, walking into a JB Hi-Fi store feels a bit like stepping into a bargain warehouse. Bright yellow signs are slapped on every surface, prices are written in a marker-style font, and the walls are jammed with products. But that chaos? It's completely intentional. The messy aesthetic is designed to scream value. The goal is to make customers feel like they're about to score a deal, right now, before it disappears. Even the iconic price tags, which used to be hand-drawn, are now printed in fonts that mimic that same handwritten feel. It's anti-branding as branding, and it works. JB Hi-Fi has created a retail experience that's the opposite of polished, and that authenticity builds trust. Customers don't feel like they're being upsold, they feel like they're being let in on a secret deal. And while the branding brings people in, the product range keeps them there. Over the years, JB Hi-Fi has expanded far beyond hi-fi equipment. They now offer a staggering array of electronics: laptops, gaming consoles, smartphones, headphones, drones, smart home gear, you name it. But they also sell the everyday essentials: fridges, vacuum cleaners, dishwashers, and microwaves. That expansion hit a major milestone in 2016 when JB Hi-Fi acquired The Good Guys for nearly 870 million Australian dollars. This gave them a dominant position in the white goods market. Items like washers and dryers that have higher margins and longer buying cycles. With that acquisition, JB Hi-Fi wasn't just a consumer electronics retailer anymore, they became a full-service home tech provider. From entertainment to appliances, they had it all under one roof. But it's not just what they sell, it's how they sell it. One of JB Hi-Fi's most powerful tools is their pricing strategy. While many traditional retailers cried foul about Amazon's arrival in Australia, JB didn't flinch. They embraced the competition, updating their pricing dynamically to stay competitive both in-store and online. They adopted real-time monitoring systems that adjust prices based on competitors, trends, and stock levels. If Amazon or Harvey Norman slashed prices, JB Hi-Fi could respond immediately. There's no fluff, no bait and switch. Customers know they're getting one of the lowest prices on the market, and that reputation alone drives traffic. Their approach is refreshingly simple. Low prices, clearly marked, no games. It's a throwback to old-school retail trust, modernized with smart tech and data. Beyond pricing, one of JB Hi-Fi's secret weapons is its people. Unlike many big box retailers that staff tech departments with whoever's available, JB Hi-Fi hires people who know their stuff, especially in departments like audio, gaming, and computing. Customers frequently report that JB staff are genuinely helpful, knowledgeable, and, here's the kicker, passionate. Internally, JB Hi-Fi runs on a lean, decentralized corporate structure, which allows individual stores to operate with a surprising amount of autonomy. This isn't a rigid hierarchy, it's a flat organization that values speed over red tape. That setup not only keeps wage costs efficient, but it also empowers employees to make decisions on the floor, enhancing customer experience and staff satisfaction at the same time. And the internal culture at JB Hi-Fi deserves credit too. Staff are often described as being given the freedom to own their sections of the store. That autonomy doesn't just lead to better service, it builds a sense of responsibility and pride. It's part of why turnover tends to be lower than the industry average. There's also a kind of unspoken energy in the stores, fast-paced but not rushed. Customers pick up on that. It feels alive. Unlike some sterile, over-engineered retail spaces, JB Hi-Fi feels human, approachable, and real. And while JB Hi-Fi nailed the in-store experience, they didn't sleep on the e-commerce revolution either. Unlike legacy retailers that struggled to pivot online, JB's digital transformation was surgical. They built a slick, user-friendly website, integrated live stock levels, and prioritized fast shipping. Click and collect became a major sales channel, especially during pandemic lockdowns, and delivery speeds kept pace with Amazon's growing presence. During 2020 alone, JB Hi-Fi's online sales surged more than 100%, and they kept that momentum going even after lockdowns ended. Today, online revenue accounts for well over 15% of total sales and growing. Their omnichannel model is a rare retail win. Customers can shop how they want, when they want, without friction. All this has translated into serious financial firepower. As of 2024, JB Hi-Fi operates over 320 stores across Australia and New Zealand, including the Good Guys brand. Their annual revenue? Over 10 billion Australian dollars. Net profits consistently top $500 million. And with a market cap hovering between 6 and 7 billion Australian dollars, JB Hi-Fi is one of the most valuable retail companies on the ASX. While other household names like Dick Smith collapsed, and even Harvey Norman faced pressure, JB Hi-Fi stayed lean, stayed focused, and stayed profitable. They didn't try to be everything to everyone, they just did what they do really well. So what's next for JB Hi-Fi? For one, they're investing heavily in tech and automation. Expect to see more AI-powered logistics, tighter supply chain integration, and possibly a stronger push into smart home ecosystems. There's also a growing emphasis on sustainability, with potential for expansion into e-waste recycling and refurbished tech sales, both areas where consumer demand is rising fast. JB has already hinted at trial programs to repurpose and resell older electronics, which could not only appeal to eco-conscious shoppers, but also open up new profit streams in the circular economy. There's also growing speculation about whether JB Hi-Fi will expand internationally. While they've so far remained firmly focused on Australia and New Zealand, their business model, high turnover, low cost, highly efficient, could translate well to similar markets. That said, part of their strength comes from their deep understanding of the local consumer. They've built systems, branding, and even store layouts around Aussie habits. Any overseas expansion would need to strike a careful balance between adapting to new cultures and preserving the scrappy charm that made them famous. At the end of the day, JB Hi-Fi isn't winning by accident. Their stores may look chaotic, but the business is anything but. Every messy sign, every crammed shelf, every handwritten style price tag is part of a finely tuned strategy to create urgency, excitement, and trust. They've built a brand that feels honest, a culture that moves fast, and a customer base that keeps coming back. In an era where retail giants fall as fast as they rise, JB Hi-Fi didn't just survive, they owned the game. And next time you walk into a JB Hi-Fi and feel like you're being shouted at by 200 yellow signs, just smile. Because you're not in chaos. You're in one of the smartest retail ecosystems Australia's ever seen. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below and let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this story, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss out on more deep dives like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay curious.